up, guys? I am back, and I know it's been a while since I did a video or anything, and I want to do a tutorial. Let me just move my chair nicely. Let me just, do a tutorial on foam because I know a lot of new people in the cosplay scene. They are very what's the word? They're very unsure on how and where to get their foam from locally. So what I want to do is in this video, I want to explain maybe different kinds of foam, where to get your foam from, and hopefully this will help the newcomers in the community. I love helping newcomers in whatever capacity they need. And yeah, no, just a little thing on foam. So here we go. Okay, so let's get started. We locally get our foam here in South Africa. We usually get our foam from a place called Sondor, that's Sondor Industries. I will put a link at the bottom in the description of their website and their Facebook page as well. So, yeah, no, let's get started. So, like I said, a lot of people, they are starting off in the cosplay scene and it's getting bigger, which is a good thing. It is a very good thing that it's getting better. So I want to show them more or less where to get the foam, and the thing is, you could tell them where to get the foam, but they aren't like sure like how what sort of foam they need to get. You know, they could ask for foam, and they could get like mattress foam, which is bad because I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before. That's happened to me. But no, what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description, and I'll list also the different kinds of foam that you can get, and the thicknesses and densities as well. Okay, let's get started. The foam I usually use is a foam called SPX45. That is a very that is a very high density foam. It's actually the stuff here, and you can see I'm pressing into it, and it doesn't dent as easily. But with the heat gun, it will give you nice dents, and once you form it with a heat gun, and yes, you have to use a heat gun to form this here. A hairdryer will not work to form foam. It just doesn't help at all. And the nice thing is, once you form it, it'll actually heat seal it as well. I'll discuss that a bit later on in the video. Like I say, I use this stuff as XPX45. I've used this stuff to make my Thor Ragnarok armor. I've used it to make breastplates for clients. I've used it to make weapons and everything. But like I said, this here is just 5 millimeter. This is a 5 millimeter foam. You get it in 5 millimeter, 10 millimeter, I think 12 as well if you're lucky. And the thinnest stuff would be 3 millimeter to 2 millimeter and 1 millimeter. Okay, the 2 millimeters, the 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, and 1 millimeter are usually used for detailing stuff, or if you want to cover, like I do a lot of that there. I would build a cardboard base for my prop. For instance, my Thor hammer, my Mjolnir. I built the base out of cardboard, and I used the 1 millimeter of the XPX45 to just cover it, so it can, so the paint can go over nicely and everything. And I use it for detailing around the handle of the mallet as well. And with this stuff, the nice stuff about this is once you heat it and bend it, it does keep its shape. So that's, like I say, that's perfect, and it works like magic. The thicker stuff, I've used to make pauldrons, like the 12 millimeter and the 10 millimeter of this. I've used to make pauldrons. I've used to make other parts of my weapon. I've used to make boots, like actual boots. Nothing built over a shoe, but it's like an actual boot. I've used that, and yeah, so you get the different densities as well. The different densities would be much harder to form, but once you form them, they will keep their shape. And you can see the stuff is quite flexible now, but like I say, once you glue it together and everything, it keeps its shape. Now the other densities that you have XPX33, 45, 60, 80, 120, and 130. The 130 is very hard. The 130 you would use, the 120 and 130 you would use to make weapons. I've used it myself to make weapons, and it's been amazing. I've actually used it to make to make Xena sword from Xena Warrior Princess, the classic sword that I love. And the nice thing is as well, it's nice to carve with. You can get really nice shapes, really nice forms with the SPX 120 or 130. The 80, I haven't used the 80 yet, but the 60 I have used, and that is wonderful as well when you're building little armor pieces, little spine pieces, pieces that need to be more or less solid on your armor piece or your cosplay pieces. Okay. I think yeah, no, I think we've covered most of the SPX 45. Um, and then you have this stuff. This stuff is the stuff I originally bought, which was SVA. It was SVA 33. This stuff is also, as you see, it's nice, it's flexible and everything, but the problem is with this, I found, well, for me personally, I found that when you heat this up and you try and form it, it doesn't keep its shape. It's more of a memory foam, so it kind of, it pops back to its original shape. And I mean, I have used this. I've used this to make armor for my Deathwing, my chest piece, my original chest piece for my Deathwing, and I found that with this, even though it's softer, it's like a memory foam, but that's a good thing. It can you have more movement with it as opposed to SPX 45. If you build an armor piece off it, you have to make sure that there's pieces that are separate in between the armor, so you'll be able to move. With this, you don't need to. This you'll be able to move, and yeah, you'll be able to move and do whatever you need to do. Bend, turn, twist. It's a very nice thing to work, a very nice foam to work with. And as well, you can heat seal this as well. I found that it doesn't, well, for me, it didn't paint so nicely. Once I heat sealed it and primed it, it didn't paint so nicely. But yeah, no, but otherwise it does work. I'm not gonna lie, it does work. But this as well, you get in different thicknesses as well. Like this is I think this is a 5 millimeter piece as well. You get it in 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 2 millimeter, and 1 millimeter. Okay, so like I say, the thinner millimeters, they can use them. They're very nice to actually use for the detailing of your armor. So yeah, no, that's covering that. Now the thing is with the SPX 45. SPX 45, you will have to give them the code at Sondo. This is the codes that they obviously use. Yeah, you give them the code, and yeah, no, the XPX 45, but the SVA, like I say, is much softer. It's more of a memory foam. The SPX is the one that sticks, the one that stays and keeps its little shape. See, if I had to do this, see, and like sort of like kind of heat it in my hands with this, see, it does keep its shape. Now the SVA, I do that. This is the same thing, kind of rolled up. Sorry, and rolled up, heated up in my hands, and as you can see, it pops back to its original shape. I'm not even pulling it. It just pops back to its original shape, and I don't particularly like this kind of foam. And if you are really in a bind and you don't have any foam for pauldrons, weapons, armor, there is something you can do. You can go to like your local hardware stores. You can go to sporting stores, and you can get this kind of stuff. See, it's textured on the one side and smooth on the other side. This stuff here is technically floor mats. Those fatigue mats that you would find in the gym. These ones only come probably in one kind of thickness, which is a 12 millimeter, as far as I see. You can actually get this in toy stores as well, like little kiddies play mats and stuff. You can use that stuff as well. I've used that to make my Deathwing pauldrons, my shin guards for my Deathwing. I've even used them to make my boots for my Deathwing, where they are brilliant and they work amazingly. Yeah, and priming as well. Priming, you can prime with wood glue. just normal wood glue. I found that normal wood glue, once you brush it on, don't brush it on too thick, because you will need 3 layers of it, so don't brush it on too thick. And yeah, otherwise you're gonna get like little clumps, and the little clumps are not very nice to have in your armor. They kind of suck actually. What I found is if you use a wide paintbrush and you water the wood glue down, it would be better. It would be better, and it goes on a lot smoother. You need minimum 3 layers, but you can put as many layers as you want. But like I say, minimum 3 layers. So yeah, I think I've covered everything in this video, and yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, and you can support us on our Patreon as well if you can see if you like, so we can make better videos. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys at the next con. Thanks guys, love you guys. Family.